Hi everyone, this is a really special pick a card reading for things that you need to know right now, things you need to hear right now. I feel like these are very important messages. It's going to give you a lot of information and I hope you are ready. Whew, here we go. So we've got these beautiful flowers everywhere. We've got crystals, petals. You know, I was just going all in with the vibe. I just felt really good. And also we've got these beautiful decks here as well. So this is group one and then this is group number two. So whichever one you feel most drawn to, they're exactly the same. Both decks are the same. The quote on it is just, different for the top card. So we are going to see what is coming through. It's going to be very in-depth. We're going to go through quite a lot and I hope you are ready. These are going to be some very significant messages and I'm also going to be pulling some clarifying cards from the deck that I have made myself. So that is right there. So I also want to mention as well, if you'd like to win a free reading with me, do check out the description box below since I do a giveaway every single month. If you would like to purchase a private paid reading, information will also be down below as well. They are done within 24 to 48 hours. And the last thing I want to mention, my intention bracelets are on Etsy, so if you are interested, do check those out. So I'm actually wearing a few of them right here. As you can see, I'm wearing love, I'm wearing angel protection, there's some singles ones in there as well. And yeah, so if you want to see the reviews, see how other people have seen results with them, please do check out my Etsy store down below and also check out the reviews, check out the other items on there if you're interested. I mean, of course you don't have to, but if you are interested, there are lots of other items, including hand embroidered intention cards, there's necklaces, all that good stuff. It's all on there, international shipping worldwide, and it's all in the description box below. So the link to my Etsy store is down below, as well as everything else I mentioned. All right, let's get started. I am excited. I feel really good about this reading as well, so we'll see what's coming through. So we're going to start first of all with group number one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, actually, do you know what? I'm going to do this. Oh, poor flowers. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna just do this because I'm gonna just move this group out of the way. Alright, so group number one, this is messages or things that you need to hear right now, like right now. So we're going to see what is coming through. So I've got the pile right here. I'm going to shuffle and then I'm going to place the cards down as well as we go through it. I'm also going to shuffle for some clarifying cards as well. Okay, so let's get started. So if you've chosen group number one, let's see what things you need to hear right now, right this second, what messages are coming through. Hope you're doing well, by the way. I know the screen is quite busy. We've got a lot of flowers and crystals. I just, went a bit excessive, but I love it. I love the flowers. I love crystals. I feel like this is an offering to you. So let's see. Okay, so I've got a few cards here that have actually come out. So let's see. So the first one is everything I do today will be a success. That's what we have right there. So I feel like right now you may feel like everything I'm doing right now, I'm doing today, it's not maybe going necessarily how you want it to go. So the spirit guides here are saying that say to yourself instead that everything that you do today will be a success. Remember that sometimes we have to plant seeds for them to bloom into flowers tomorrow. It's quite significant, right? Flowers don't just bloom out of nowhere. It needs to be planted first, there needs to be a seed, and then it will bloom. So I feel like that's also very, very significant, especially in regards to this particular message. Sorry, my OCD is kicking in here and I keep looking at the screen and I keep seeing the fact that it's not even and it's annoying me a little bit. So I know that there are some other people that will probably feel the same. There we go, a little bit better. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here, right? Negativity attracts negativity, positivity attracts positivity. Even if today is not good, right? Remember that what happens today is not your forever. Things change, situations change. The way in which you do things will also progress. It will change. Things will manifest. Things will progress. Things will, eventually they will get much, much better. It's something that is really, really coming through quite significantly, is that, situation will change. Say to yourself that, okay, it's all right, today's not going so well, but you know what, I'm going to plant some seeds, and hopefully those seeds tomorrow will bloom into something, right? And then on the back here, I've got a question for you. What personal successes are you most proud of? I think it's always important to ask that question. I really do. Because what happens is sometimes what we find is that we start to really critique ourselves to the point where we start to think, oh, I never do anything right, I can never get anything right. But the thing is, there are some successes you have had. So think to yourself, well, okay, maybe today is not going so well, or is not going as planned. Maybe the last couple of months have not gone as planned. But then think to yourself, what has gone to plan? Right? What has gone to plan? And what can you plant today that could bloom tomorrow? I think that's really great. That's great. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a corresponding message. Okay, nothing's really coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the deck. Let's take this one. It says here the protection, right? So know that you are protected. Know that what's happening in your life is happening for a reason. Sometimes what happens is that some things may not go your way, mainly because you're being protected from something that could have happened but then could have hurt you, right? So sometimes what's happening is that you are being protected. I know it's hard sometimes to understand, how that is the case, but this kind of stuff really does happen, where there is this element of protection that is also going on, and it's something that is not the easiest to understand, but it happens, right? So now we've got here, I am a magnet for abundance and prosperity. You're being protected here. So if things are not going the way that you want them to, or you're stuck in your life, or you're thinking to yourself, Moonlight, I don't know what to do in this particular situation. This could be to do with your love life, it could be career, it could be your own emotions, it could be people you're dealing with. You're being protected. And I see that very, very significantly here, is that sometimes things may not go the way that you want them to go in because you're being protected. And it's crazy to even think about that, to think like, whoa, I'm being protected? How am I being protected if things are not going the way that I want them to go into? So it's one thing there that we are seeing. And this card here says, I'm a magnet for abundance and prosperity. Now, this really here is showing that, again, positivity attracts positivity, negativity attracts negativity. It's also showing you here that your thoughts will manifest into what you essentially think. It will progress. Remember, the seeds that we plant today bloom tomorrow. Think about the quality of those seeds. Are they negative? Are they positive? How do those seeds make you feel? Where is that stemming from as well? And the question here is, which aspect of your life would you like to be abundant in today? Right? Which aspect of life is worrying you the most? Which aspect would you like to plant some very positive seeds in regards to? What is it that you'd like to manifest? Ask yourself those questions and ask yourself how it makes you feel, and whether you are thinking quite negatively in regards to it or positively. Of course, you are allowed to feel your emotions, especially if you're frustrated in terms of certain things. But the more we sit in that frustration, we marinate in it, right? Think about marinating something. It absorbs it, right? So if you're marinating and you're thinking and thinking and overthinking and then feeling just so overwhelmed and sad, and then, it just builds and builds and builds, and then you've literally marinated yourself in that energy. So think about how you can marinate yourself in positivity, how you can marinate yourself also in the positive aspects of what you would like to achieve. Because of course you are more than you're more than entitled to feel what you feel, but the guides here are saying that in this case the negativity and the positivity is attracting that energy. So by essentially thinking in a different way, or accepting that, okay, I feel this way and this is not going exactly the way that I want it to, but then what do I want, right? What do I want? How do I want to feel? And how can I plant some more positive seeds? I think that's also quite important to say to yourself that I am a magnet for abundance and prosperity. Amazing affirmation, amazing quote. It's great, really, really great. All right, so now let's pull a card. The rainbow. I just want to say in this deck they're not all positive, so you know, it's something I do want to mention. I can show you actually just to sort of prove it to you as well, because you know, why not? So we've got here the pain, the anxiety, we've got quite a few other ones as well, which I can't tend to find right now, the catastrophe. So we have got quite a few in there. They're not all positive, but see, this is what you need to hear right now. This is the more sort of positive elements of things which the guides are pointing you towards, because you will be able to achieve that. Sometimes we need rain to make a rainbow, and sometimes it's the pain in life that actually makes us stronger, or that teaches us lessons. You know, if everything was perfect in our life would be very different. I don't think a lot of people would have gratitude. I don't think a lot of people would have that strength and that courage to do certain things, because it would just be handed to them. And then, you know, so it's one of those things where I know that it's frustrating, I know it's annoying, but hey, look, you have a lot coming your way. I see the 10 of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment. It's joy, it's peace, it's productivity. It's great, right? So believe in the 10 of Cups. Believe that this will be what you also have in your life, and you will succeed. I really do feel it in the energy. We've got here, wow, actually this is incredible, because this pretty much represents what I've just been talking about. So this is the chunk of cards that sort of fell out right at the beginning, which I'm still on at this very point in time. But it says here, I let go of fear, for it's a waste of energy. Isn't that so interesting? That's literally what I've been talking about. Now, you know, it's a waste of energy, but at the same time it helps us to think in regards to, you know, what we feel, what we want. You're entitled to your thoughts and your feelings, right? But at the same time it can just feel like, oh, you're marinating in it, and then fear attracts fear, attracts fear, attracts fear. It just goes in a circle. So just think about, you know, where you want to put your energy and try and redirect your energy. Think, you know, if fearful thoughts come into your mind, say, okay, yeah, I acknowledge that I have these fearful thoughts. I acknowledge it. I think, you know, I think about it, okay, but I'm going to do something that makes me conquer my fear. Or I accept that this fear has come into my mind, but now I'm going to concentrate on something that actually makes me feel good. Maybe you'll eat your favourite food, or watch your favourite film, or do something for you, right? So just note that fear is something that is very, very, you know, it's quite big, but at the same time, it also really does help us in many ways at the same time. So it's one of those things where when you marinate in fear, you will attract more fear. So in that case, you know, it's not great in terms of energy, but think about the seeds that, again, you want to plant. Question at the back of this here is, what fears have you overcome recently? I'll tell you one of mine: spiders. The weather is getting warmer here, and it's something I don't like. I try and keep my room as minimal as I can without too many objects and things, because that tends to collect those beings and creatures. But yeah, I think I'm slowly overcoming it. It's taken a very long time to do so, but think about that as well. This can be very, very simple things. It could be things to do with anxiety. It could be things to do with talking to others, voicing your concerns, or even really big things as well. Right? Think about, when you think about fear and the personal fears you have, also think to yourself, like, what have I gone through? Because then you can say to yourself, like, okay, I've been through that, I can get through this. We need a clarifying card. The wand. Right? The wand. You've got this. It's all in your hand. It really is. It is in your hand. Spirituality can really help, but your actions and just continuing on, going forward, knowing that you have it in your hand and you have it within yourself to make things happen is quite significant as well. Of course, there are lots of other factors like luck and things like that, but energy is also very, very important, especially in terms of the whole universal situation, and the universe, is that energy is so, so powerful. Energy is what drives everything. So it's quite significant. And then we've got here this card which says, I treasure my life and everyone in it. Did I? Yeah, I did go through this question. I believe that I did. Yeah, it was to do with fear. Treasure yourself, right? At the end of the day, you are going to be able to treasure yourself the most. So treasure you, take care of you, do things for you. I think it's so vital, so crucial, so extremely important to take care of you. At the end of the day, no one's going to take care better you than you, right? So this is again about making sure that if you're always giving to others, give to yourself. And this is a great affirmation, which is about protecting and treasuring those around you who care about you. Think about those who are around you and there for you, right? Treasure those people, keep them close to your heart. They're good for you. I feel like the spirit guides are also saying that in that sense. And then it says here on the back, who are you most grateful for today? Think about someone, like, who are you most grateful for? Now, this could also be, for example, your spirit guides. This could also be, angels. This could be someone that's taught you a lot. This could be someone that you've got, advice from before that's really helped. Think about who you are most grateful for. It could be God for some of you. So it's a great thing. I feel like, the questions at the back of it are very, very telling, because not only is it just, an affirmation, and affirmations are great, but sometimes it sort of gets a bit repetitive. We're like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. But actually the questions on the back just make you think a lot more in regards to, okay, how does that apply to my life? And also, what do I really think about this? Like, how does it make me feel? Which I think is also quite significant in that sense. So it's just quite powerful. That's a beautiful, beautiful affirmation. So this is another one that I'm going to... Commitment. Okay, so... they match really beautifully with the colour scheme, right? So this is about, treasure. Commitment is known to be treasure, especially in tarot, especially in regards to oracles. It's known to be very significant. It's supposed to be very, very precious. Now, this is also in regards to committing to yourself, committing to those around you, and also just, knowing that if you want commitment or you're seeking commitment, to give to yourself as well. It has to be balanced. That's the thing. So even if you're giving to others, make sure you're giving to yourself. You're taking care of yourself. And I think that's really important, is allowing that balance to be there, because you don't want things to be completely unequal. You want things to flow, you want things to grow, you want things to progress, but you also don't want to give to the point where it's not coming back to you in the same way. I think that's quite significant and quite important. Let me just shuffle these cards and I'm going to place them down again. Okay, so there we go. Actually, you just saw the bottom card, so let me just shuffle that again. Okay, ooh, green, nice, matches. So let's keep going. I feel like you're going to also gain some form of commitment the more you commit to yourself. That's something that's coming through there as well with that particular card. Come out, wherever you are. Okay, I'm gonna actually cut the deck because the cards are not coming out so easily. Okay, so we've got this one here. It says, I create lasting friendships with those I admire. Great affirmation. And then on the back, it actually says, whose friendship are you thankful for and why? Why? That's the question. Why are you thankful for that friendship? Sometimes we have to evaluate and think like, okay, why does this person mean so much? Is it something they do, or is it how we feel about ourselves? Because sometimes, friendships are equal. The person can be very, very giving, or sometimes maybe it's, the fact that you want that friendship, or you really value it because it makes you feel a certain way. I think that's quite important actually, to understand your friendships and to also see how they're serving you, what they're giving you, how they make you feel, what they make you feel. I think that's also quite important to understand from time to time, because people can also outgrow one another, but that's not what I'm saying here. Is that it's just about sort of understanding that energy as well, in a very, very significant way, where we can also take on board that energy and say like, okay, what's the purpose of this person's life in my life, and how are we doing? So this is really great energy, because it's about lasting, right? It's about long-term friendships, long-term energies, long-term connections in that sense, which are much better than short-term ones, right? It just means a little bit more. I want to actually take the card at the top here. The sunrise. Oh, there we go, the sunrise. That's really, really beautiful. You know, the sunrise here shows also, I feel like you're going to be gaining new friendships in your life. So that's something that's really coming through here, is that I feel like you're going to be gaining more friendships. It's like the sun is going to rise, which to me shows here an energy of something coming up. So I feel like friendships are going to be blossoming and blooming and actually getting much, much stronger. For those of you that feel like you don't have friends, I see here people sort of coming into your life and actually just, you know, slowly but surely getting brighter, 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 a little bit like how the sun rises and just gets really, really bright and then it becomes really hot. It's that kind of energy of the sun rising and things just getting brighter, 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 and your friendships blooming and just feeling super, super warm, and actually then having someone that you thought to yourself like, wow, okay, that person just kind of came in and, you know, it developed, you know, it just got stronger. So I see here also some really beautiful friendships as well. If you have been struggling in regards to friendships, manifest, and you'll find that people will come into your life who are genuinely great and can give you great friendship. Okay, next card is this one, which is, I will have everything I need at the right time. Divine timing is at work in your life. Trust it, trust it, trust it. Sometimes things don't happen at the right time or at the time that you really want it, and then it happens later on down the line and you're like, really? You know, it couldn't happen when I really wanted it. But just trust the universe that it's going to happen at the right time. It's all about divine timing here. Ooh, really interesting exercise that we've got here. So it says here, draw yourself content and happy and pin the card up on your inspiration board. So this is actually to do with this particular card. So what I would say is if you haven't made a vision board, I would totally, totally recommend it, no matter where you are. During the year, because usually people do vision boards for the year. What I would recommend is that you make a little vision board. It doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to be something spectacular or over the top or anything like that. What you can do is you can literally take a piece of paper and just draw on it your vision and, you know, how you are happy. So draw yourself, you know, feeling happy, content, or things around you that make you feel happy and content. That can be, you know, family, that could be certain people, you know, draw them and then put it up somewhere where you can see it. Often that's also a way of manifesting, believe it or not. So I think that that can be really, really great. If anyone is interested in creating a vision board, I actually did a video for my 2020 vision board. So if anyone wants to see it, I will leave it linked down in the description box below so that you can watch it if you want to make one. It's great. It's so, so amazing for manifesting. I truly believe in it. What I did was I just laid out a bunch of different oracle and tarot cards that I felt so, so drawn to. I took a picture of it, I printed it out, and I have it with me. So that is how you can do that. I think this is amazing. So if you can draw yourself feeling content and happy and maybe, you know, some other things that make you feel like that, or people, for example, I think that can be really, really wonderful. Divine timing, divine timing. Okay. Card. Okay, we got the pain here as well. Because the thing is, you might be thinking to yourself like, okay, I want to be happy. I want to have things that I, you know, have perhaps missed out on, or things that you have had which have caused grief or pain or heartbreak, because that comes in different forms. You know, heartbreak is not just always to do with a love or a lover, should I say. It can be to do with certain people. It can be to do with people passing away. It can be to do with how people treat us. It can be to do with trauma, childhood. There can be a lot of things that just break our heart, you know, and things we see in the world as well can also break our heart. So this is about you really finding victory and strength through the pain, which I very much so feel that you will. I feel like you're the kind of person that will use your pain as a way to step forward, to make a mark, to progress, to, you know, feel good and to have so much more goodness in your life, which is very, very wholesome. And I feel like you're the kind of person that will use it to your advantage here as well. So I feel like doing a vision board will just give you, you know, that crown. It's like putting the crown on top of the sword that has kind of stabbed you. It really is about you finding your way through the pain and also fighting your way through it as well, because you're a strong person. I believe in it. Next card. I'm going to shuffle these after this card so that we have a bit more of a shuffle going on. So it says here, I radiate positive thinking which manifests into great things. Again, law of attraction, affirmations, intentions, manifesting will really, really help you. And positive thinking, again, as I mentioned, positivity attracts positivity. The type of seeds that you plant really do matter. Your thoughts, your intentions, how you treat others, it all matters in the grand scheme of things. We have the Akashic records, and the Akashic records record everything that we do, and then the universe acts accordingly. Sometimes it takes time for our good karma to come our way, and sometimes, it comes straight away. So it's all about, again, knowing that things will happen in divine timing, especially if you feel like you're always such a good person and you're always trying to do the right thing, you're always trying to do the good thing, and you're feeling like, moonlight, it's not coming to me, it's not going in the direction that it needs to be going for me. Why, moonlight? Why? Just know that the Akashic records are there, but also that the universe will give you what you deserve in divine timing. Believe, 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 and you will receive, receive, receive. I'm a big believer of that for sure. So yeah, radiating that positive energy will also allow opportunities to flow your way. So if you are really, really positive and you're doing things and you're just, you're continuing despite any pain, troubles, obstacles, and you're just using, you're putting like a crown over that sword that has, at one point maybe broken you or given you heartbreak, you will very much so gain opportunities, because how you treat yourself is also how people around you will treat you. If you have confidence, if you have, a high level of self-esteem, which, by the way, it takes time to work, to that point, especially if you have felt broken or just hurt, it will take time, of course, to feel like that. It's not a one-step click and then it's all perfect. It's one of those things, but I do feel here that, if you give yourself love, I feel like others will radiate and want to also give you love. I feel like if you commit to yourself, you will really gain a lot of commitment from others, and I feel like you'll gain, relationships and balance and a lot more happiness and strength and confidence as well. And so I feel like what you put into yourself, you also receive back. It's also the quality, again, I know I keep saying this, quality of seeds that you plant is what will grow. Because remember, if we don't have very good seeds, the flower might not really bloom at all. It might not even grow. So again, it's one of those things. I want to take the top card because it's so beautiful and yellow. I was like, oh, I don't really want to. Okay, so here we go, right? So this is the belongings. So yeah, again, when we look at this particular energy of, radiating positive, and I was just looking at this yellow the entire time, this particular card is inspired by the Fool card, because the Fool is carrying their belongings and they're just on this journey, they're doing whatever they want to do, they're doing it their way because they obviously want to, and this here is really about you. Right? It's about you radiating that energy, doing things for yourself, taking care of you, setting out on a journey, maybe retreating, or taking again time for yourself. That can really be amazing. It can be wonderful. It can give you quite a lot of that energy. I think it's a really great thing. I think that it's quite positive. I think that it's exciting. It's nice. So what I would say is that, the belongings here are really, really beautiful, because it's showing here, you. It's showing your things, the things that make a lot of sense to you. What would you take with you if you were going somewhere or you had to go somewhere? Like, what are the very few things that you would want to take with you? This is about also your emotions. This is about yourself, like your personal energy, right? Which also belongs to you as well. And it says here as well, describe something good that you've recently manifested. So I think that's also quite significant and quite important as well. So that's what we've got right there. Yeah, just describe something good that you've manifested recently. Is it a trip? Could it be a trip? Is it acquiring something? Maybe something you've bought yourself? Could it be clothes? Could it be what's the other word? It's like the basics, like toiletries, or maybe even a suitcase. Have you manifested and bought something like that recently? Or even a trip, more so as well. It's quite interesting because you've got the belongings. This is like sort of packing up your things and going on an adventure or going somewhere essentially, which I'm seeing. Interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle these cards. Okay, so this one says, I have the power to change the world, and then it says, what changes would you make? What changes would you make? Let me know. What changes would you make? I feel like collectively we all have the power to change certain things. Our voice does matter, even if you feel like it doesn't, it does, and collectively as a whole, it really does. If there are certain things that you have wanted to speak out about, or injustices that you have not felt good in regards to, perhaps you have been discriminated, perhaps people have said really hateful stuff to you, or perhaps you have been unable to gain certain opportunities because of who you are. That is something that happens a lot in this world, and I feel like speaking out about it, gaining, some kind of, what's the word? Getting information on it and then sharing it can be a really great thing. So yeah, you have the power to change the world. Know that you do. You don't have to stay silent about things that perhaps are just hurting you like crazy. If there are people that are taking advantage of you or people that are saying not so nice things, just remember that you do have the power to change that. You have the power to do so much more in the situation. Even if it seems like you don't, you do. And then we also have here, what changes would you make? So that's a great question. I'm looking at the screen. I really want to take the green, so I am. Ooh, the reflection. Yeah, this is really about thinking about, what it is that you would want to change. Like, what is it that, are there certain things that have really grown in your mind that have just really stuck with you, or things that are happening right now that don't make you feel good, but you could out those people? It's not specifically about taking revenge on people, but it is also being aware that there are lots and lots of other people who could also deal with this particular situation. So it's things like that, just making people aware, and also just voicing your concerns. You're a human being at the end of the day, so I feel like it's something to think about, it's something to reflect upon, and it's something for you to take on board, that you do have the power in your hands. You do, very much so. Things like voting, for example. That's you having a little bit of power in your hands to do something. Speaking sorry, I can't even speak. Speaking out about certain things can also very much so help. And yeah, things like that. So it is what I am seeing. That's what we got. That's what we got. So yeah, group number 1, this is your reading. These are things that you need to hear right now. Now, if there are certain messages that really resonate with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy. And yeah, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you hopefully for the next the next reading. If you haven't already subscribed, do feel free to do so as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take away these cards. Whoops. All right, group number 2. These are things that you need to hear right now, that you need to know about right now. We're going to have a look, see what's coming through. I'm just going to shuffle the clarifying cards that I have right here for your reading. So let me just do that. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle again because I know you saw the bottom card, so it's a little bit better. Okay, I'm just going to leave them right there, and I'm going to just grab these cards as well, and we will get started straight away. So I'm just going to shuffle, and then I'm going to pull the cards because a lot of these cards are sort of stuck together, so it will just bring out quite a few at a go. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, let's begin. So card number 1, the things that you need to hear right now. It says, I enjoy discovering new experiences and overcoming challenges. I almost couldn't read that just because of the font. I was like, does it say overcowling? I was like, I don't think that's a thing, but yeah, okay. I managed to read it in the end. It's just, I think, the font, but wow. What a message, right? What a strong, strong message. This is, I really feel, about you discovering new experiences, and this can also be you discovering new things, like, for example, foods. You might be interested in discovering new places in terms of destinations, like maybe you've made a bucket list in regards to places that you want to go in, or go to, should I say, places that you want to visit, foods that you want to try out, or maybe even you might have made a list of certain documentaries or films that you want to watch. That's something that I'm seeing here. I see a lot of new discoveries. I see here even maybe you're interested in trying out new styles when it comes to clothing, or even checking out new artists and music, and maybe new places as well. There's a sense of discovery that's really coming through, which I think is also quite significant. It's quite exciting, and this is also about overcoming challenges, which again shows here that it's almost like you're not giving up, right? You want to be able to do fun things, you want to be able to enjoy your life, you're not afraid of challenges, you want to go out there, you want to do your thing, and that is what is coming through. This is beautiful. What a way to start your reading. Wow. And on the back we have the question. Let me just grab the card. It says, what new experience will you try today? Ooh, interesting. Whether it's today or tomorrow, I know a lot of you watch my readings at night, so it's one of those things. But think about what experience you're going to try. However it applies to you, whether it's today or tomorrow. That's a wonderful, wonderful question. Think about that. Yeah, I feel like we always learn something new every single day. Like there's that phrase of, well, you learn something new every day. I feel like that's the kind of energy that I'm seeing here. I mean, you could have learned something new today as well. It's a thing, it's a vibe. Maybe you learnt that you enjoyed something that maybe you thought you didn't. Maybe you tried out a new hobby, or you were really interested in doing something that maybe you've been putting off for a while. So there's a lot coming through in regards to that, which I think is really beautiful. And I see you here also discovering lots and lots of new things. I feel like these are the blessings also coming to you, is that these are new discoveries which make you feel like, wow, why did I not discover this earlier on in my life? This also, for those of you that are single, this can also be love, right? New people coming into your life, friendships as well, and new bonds that are being created, which again are these beautiful blessings that are blooming and coming towards you, which also very, very beautiful, should I just say. Okay, so clarifying card, just going to cut the deck. Ooh, it matches the card. It says here, the offer. Wow, see, these are things that are coming to you. These are new discoveries that you're making. You're discovering all of these new cups and you're thinking, wow, I like what's in there. I like what's in there. I like what's in there. These are things that I feel like you may have also thought about, before, but here you are, really diving quite deep into this, which again, that's pretty cool. Your next card here is, I strive to fill my mind with positive visions. Notice how it says positive visions. Visualizing is such a powerful thing, especially when it comes to law of attraction. So visualizing your life, visualizing your happiness, visualizing your future, visualizing where you want to be, how you want to be, how you're doing certain things can be super, super wonderful. Positivity attracts positivity. As they say, negativity attracts negativity. Your visions and how you see things also make a huge, huge difference. So that's something that I do want to mention as well. And it says here, what regular practices keep your positivity topped up? We know exactly which direction this is going in, and it's going in a very, very spiritual direction. As I mentioned, law of attraction, right? That is a way that can help. But also, what else have you been doing? I think that's also quite important for me to mention to you. Sorry, the crystal is a little bit off balance at times, has a mind of its own, but it's me knocking it over. And then of course, meditation can help, journaling can help as well, because when you're journaling, you're actually putting something to paper, you're writing something or you're drawing something. Also paying attention to your doodles, like if you are someone that just doodles really randomly at times, pay attention to your doodles. What are you doodling, and what does it mean in the grand scheme of things? I used to doodle a lot, like stars and moons and flowers. That's the main thing I used to doodle, and then I'd go to Google and I would search, and it's really interesting what doodles can also mean. So if you are like just randomly sketching little things here and there, that's also part of your vision. Believe it or not, it's crazy. So again, that is very, very important. Also, what you think about during the day can also impact your dreams as well, and what you dream about. So again, that can be to do with your visions as well. So yeah, the more positive you keep it, the more positive you can attract. But of course, it's important not to force yourself, because at the end of the day, you're entitled to feel whatever you feel. And that's the thing, is we can't always be super positive every single hour of the day. It's unrealistic. But I do feel that there are certain times where we can take a little bit more positivity on board, and that can really help us in regards to how we feel. And also spirituality, meditation, yoga, journaling can really help in regards to what we feel, how we feel, and how we go forward with that energy as well. So I need to pull a clarifying card. It says here the commitment, as you see. So this is also about committing to yourself. Your visions are part of your commitment to yourself, how you want to feel within yourself, what it is that you feel, and also what it is that you do with it, right? Because commitment is known to be the keys, and the keys have to go into the lock, and only then can you really free yourself as well. So if you have been feeling super negative, you hold the key to free yourself, and that's the important thing here as well. So especially if you have been thinking to yourself like, oh, at times things don't really go the way that I want them to, they're not perfect, things like that. It's about knowing that you also hold the key to your own happiness at the same time. It's not just somebody else holding that key. You hold the key to your own lock. That's something I think it's quite important to also note as well. We have got here another card. I'm going to shuffle these after I've just read this card. And pick the clarifying card. It says, today is the beginning of a fresh start for me. This is a great affirmation. Really, really great affirmation. Did I read the question? Yeah, I remember, because it's to do with spirituality. So that's what we've got there. Beautiful, beautiful affirmation. You can always screenshot these and just, keep them on your phone or your device and come back to them. These are great. You can even write them down. That's the thing. What would you like to see become a part of this change? Right, in regards to the fresh start. Remember that at any point, or like whenever you are doing things, at any point you can make a fresh start. Even if you feel like, no, it's too late, it's never, never too late. So one thing I want to mention, it's never too late. What would you like to see become a part of the change? You can always change. There are always changes we can make to, feel better, to feel stronger. It's one of those things, I'm just saying, we can always do things for us. There are always changes we can make as human beings. It is something quite spectacular. So now I pull a card. The miracle. I'm telling you, today is a great day, to make a change. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you're watching this, it is essentially the right time for you to be watching this. But just know that you are this beautiful, beautiful star, and that miracles will occur. Miracles happen every single day. And if you're thinking to yourself, Moonlight, don't really believe that miracles happen, like, yeah, but, thank you, but no thank you. If you're thinking that, I want you to visualize the fact that we are floating in the middle of the universe, on a planet, and the interesting thing is that there are so many things that have to be perfect for humans to exist. The distance of the sun to the planet, the actual composition of the planet, the fact that we have built up so many things, and there's so many, signs and synchronicities. Like, just think about the fact that our existence is also a miracle. We don't see any other human life in our solar system at this very point in time, right? I'm sure maybe it exists right outside, but so far the research has shown that it's, there is no other life that has been proven, let's say. I'm sure there are maybe creatures and things like that, especially on some of the planets where there is, water and things like that. Anyways, we're gone. We'll talk about that another day, but I just want you to know that it is very miraculous that we are actually alive. We're floating on Earth. There is gravity, and there are not storms like on other planets where we would just get swept away. We wouldn't even have the chance to be on planet. So just know that miracles happen every single day. The fact that we are on planet Earth, the fact that we are in the middle of the solar system, is in fact a miracle. There are so many things that have to be perfect in order for us to exist. And that is a miracle. That is a miracle. Stars have truly aligned in our favour. So know that miracles happen every single day. Know that the universe is also, it's not a coincidence. It's all happening for a reason. It always happens for a reason. There's so much in it that sometimes we don't even realize because we don't think about it. And then when we think about it, we're like, whoa, my mind is blown. So that's one big thing. Actually, I was going to shuffle the cards. Let me just shuffle the cards, just so that we can get a nice shuffle, especially for the cards that are sort of more on the bottom of the deck. Ah! I sound like a seagull. Okay. I can fix every problem that comes my way. Right? Life is not perfect, but it's our way of problem solving that can be. Also, remember that no relationship is perfect either. It's really about how people solve their problems and how they adapt to one another, and that element of not giving up and just, you know, standing true to it, which you know, can help. Obviously, you know, you have to do the best for you. I'm not saying that, you know, that's the way to fix, you know, every relationship, because every relationship is different. Some work, some don't. You know, it's very, very natural. But I'm just trying to say that, you know, relationships not perfect, whether it's to do with family members, lovers, friendships as well. It's one of those things. But really, you know, one of the ways in which it can work is the problem solving element. You know, there can be some friends, for example, who they just don't see eye to eye, but and they don't want to fight for it, you know, so it naturally ends. And then others, they might just fight for each other, they might put in a lot of work, and that's them solving those problems and actually wanting to stay in it. So then it does work, right? So that's what I'm trying to describe here. So also in regards to career, in regards to your dreams and your goals, is that if there are problems, I see here you really putting your absolute all into it. You trying to be like, okay, if there's a problem, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to find the solution. I'm going to do this for me because I need to, right? So I see you here also fixing a lot of problems and doing that for yourself. And if you're thinking to yourself, no, Moonlight, I can't do it. I just can't. I cannot. Ask yourself, how have you solved a dilemma recently? Because I'm sure that you have, right? I'm sure that you have solved a dilemma recently. We do it a lot of the time. So if you feel like giving up on certain things, just know that you have solved many dilemmas in your life. So think about the most recent one that you've solved, and just know that other problems, other issues, other challenges that you have, you will also find a solution to them. Because where there is a will, there is a way, right? So just know that if you have some problems, issues, dilemmas, you will find a way to make that rainbow happen. Because what do we need for a rainbow? We need some rain. We need some rain, and that is the problems, right? The rain is the problems. And then when you find a solution, that's the sun. Rain, sun, rainbow. The sun of the rain and rainbow, sorry, no, wait a second. The sun is in, like, you know, the product of the sun, and the rain is the rainbow. Anyways, so that's what we're seeing, right? It gives you emotional fulfillment. It gives you strength. It makes you feel like, all right, if I can solve this, I can solve anything else that comes my way. Great, it's great, it's great. Just know that you can, right? This one here says, I accept every part of myself exactly as I am. Self-acceptance helps self-confidence, helps self-growth, helps self-love, and helps self-esteem. So accepting yourself for who you are, not trying to change yourself, just being you, doing you, having acceptance again for yourself can be such a powerful, powerful thing. It can make you feel stronger, it can make you feel better, it can give you so much hope. Try not to give up on yourself. I know sometimes it can be really hard because we can think like, oh, why am I not being accepted? And those kinds of people are. I know that can be really, really hard and really tough, but you must know that you must not change yourself. We as human beings, we always grow, adapt and change to certain situations, and we do grow, so we do change, but it's not about, you know, changing yourself for a specific person or changing yourself because of a company or because you're supposed to be a certain way. That's not what I'm talking about. This is you changing yourself because of something. That I don't agree with. I just agree with being you, and naturally if changes occur in your life, then, you know, that's because it's to do with you. It's not necessarily to do with you being forced to be a certain way, or you thinking like, I need to be a certain way for this person, otherwise they're not going to like me, right? So this is about accepting yourself as you are and being proud of who you are as well. You are destined to be the way that you are. It's special. It's very, very special. Be you. And the things that are meant for you will never pass you by, right? Simple. Whereas if you're trying to be someone else, or you're trying to do things in an energy which is not necessarily you, you'll find that the universe might give you things that perhaps you've not wanted, right? And it can cause more problems, more interferences. It can obstruct your energy because it's not actually your energy. It's attracting a completely different energy. So it says here, and I think this is absolutely incredible, definitely comment the answer to this question down below, especially if you've picked group number 2. It says, what are your favourite parts of you, or yourself, should I say, inside and out? What are your favourite parts of yourself inside and out? Remember, this is more than just physical appearance, right? This is inside, you know. Do you feel like you're smart, loyal, kind, giving, grateful, happy, sharing, positive, hardworking? Vulnerable. Vulnerable is not a bad thing. Okay, vulnerable is not a bad thing. There's so many things, right? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section below. Let's go for this. Ooh, the protection. Okay, who you are is being protected. This is actually inspired by the World card. So the World card is, of course, to do with yourself. It's to do with your structure. It's to do with your routine. This is about protecting yourself, taking care of yourself, and knowing that what you want to do also stems from your own personal energy, that you have what it takes to do certain things because you are you. You don't have to be someone else to go in a certain direction. You don't have to pretend to be someone else to get certain things, because sometimes you might get those things, but actually they could lead you in situations that you don't actually want to be in. So it's just about knowing that by being you, you attract such beautiful, authentic, gorgeous, happy, fulfilling energies. I am telling you, it is a good vibe. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle these cards a little bit more. So being you protects your energy in a much, much bigger way. You might be thinking, oh yeah, but if I'm just a bit more like this because I want to make this person happy, then maybe that will give me more abundance. I mean, it might in the short term, but then think about the long term. You have to constantly live up to something that you are naturally not, right? It can be even more difficult. I treasure my life and everyone in it. See, again, this is really about protecting yourself, your energy, and those around you. This is about your circle, your bubble, and really just taking care to do that for you. I think that's quite important. And then it says here, who are you most grateful for today? Beautiful, beautiful energy. Who are you most grateful for today? And the card, the work, it's manifesting, right? Who are you most grateful for today? Who has perhaps helped you? Who has made you feel worthy? Are you grateful for yourself? That's also a question. I think that's quite important, because at the end of the day, you're the one that puts the most work into yourself. You are you, right? Someone could have helped you. Someone could have made you feel much more worthy. Who are you grateful for? Maybe it's someone that's really helped you. Maybe it's a tarot reader. Hey, it could be. Maybe it's, for some of you, I'm picking up that you might actually be in therapy, so it could be a therapist, right, that really has helped you and has really pushed you into a beautiful energy where you are, you know, considering a lot of things. Or it could be someone that you've met recently, right? So ask yourself that question. Is it someone that makes you feel like, wow, okay, maybe it didn't go exactly the way that I planned for things to go in, but it made me much more stronger. It made me realise my worth and what I bring to the table. I think that's also important as well. What do you bring to the table, you know, and how do you feel in regards to that? Wonderful. And we've got here, I'm grateful for my life today. Wow. What are you most grateful for? I feel like we're on a roll here with gratitude, for sure. I think having gratitude will definitely strengthen how the universe sees you and gives you your blessings, because having gratitude is a very, very beautiful thing. It also just shows here as well that gratitude is just going to give you so much more abundance, so much more fulfillment, and so much more joy. When you have gratitude towards yourself and others, it just shows this beautiful energy of peace, progression, and balance. And also at the same time, it's just really, really showing that there's so much more to come your way, which I also think is quite significant. So yeah, I think having that gratitude will allow things to bloom and the flowers to bloom and to flower. Okay, so let's go with this card. It says here the codependency. Okay, so it's interesting because with this particular card is that, you know, maybe you have been reliant on other people. I think that this is also about sort of breaking out of that and relying more on yourself as well. Now, for some of you have been relying on yourself, but perhaps you're needing certain things. Now, this is not just in regards to other people. This can be certain things that you always need around you. For some people, this could be addictions. This could be habits as well, right? I used to bite my nails like absolute crazy a couple of years ago, and now if you look at my videos, my nails are long, they are strong. It was hard. It was very, very hard. Now, for other people, these addictions can be much, much bigger, okay? Maybe not biting nails, but very, 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 very strong addictions that can oftentimes be really hard to break out of. So it's just something I'm seeing here is that essentially, right, by thinking about what you're very, very grateful for, you may also start to think like, okay, is my habit, my addiction, or my codependency towards someone helping me, or is it going to make me feel worse over time? So it's just something to consider, because I do see here the sense of codependency that I'm picking up on. I mean, codependency is something that I think it's worse when you sort of feel like that's your sort of only resort, you know, or something that you feel like that's sort of like the only thing I feel good about. It's, you know, it's one of those things. So it's about also asking yourself, especially in regards to love, you know, if you have been codependent on someone and you've just thought to yourself like, oh, my life is worthless without this person, it really is about asking yourself as well those questions that we asked about. What are you most grateful for? Is it really just this person or this addiction or this thing, or is there much more that you think about when it comes to how you feel in regards to life? Because I'm sure there are lots of other things. I'm sure there must be lots and lots of other things, but you might just sort of be resting in regards to this codependency. So I want you to know that you can break out of it. I know that's hard and it happens over time, but especially if you're dealing with things like addictions and things like that, then, you know, getting help of professionals is absolutely the most crucial thing. But if you're dealing with certain habits, remember that it takes, I'm speaking like, you know, biting nails or doing little things that count as like small habits. It takes like 30 days to break a habit and to form a routine in regards to that. So it's just something I want to mention as well. But for more severe habits and things like that, of course, seeing a medical professional is absolutely, totally the way to go. All right, and then we've got, let's go with the last card. We've got everything I do today will be a success. Think that to yourself. When you wake up, say this to yourself, and you know what? If things don't go the way that you want them to, just know that you have set the tone for the day. You have set the vibe for the day, and things will get better as time goes by, right? So I think that that's also very, very important. And then it says here, what personal successes are you most proud of? Let me know, what are your most proud personal successes? I think that's quite important as well. And then the card that we have, I'm going to actually take the top card here. It says here, the catastrophe. Okay, perhaps things have not gone the way that you have wanted them to go in, but I do want to say that this is very, very significant because it shows that through catastrophe comes stability, through catastrophe comes strength, through catastrophe comes abundance. And I know that sounds really strange, but it's like, you know, opposites. It's like sort of yin and yang energy, where things that perhaps have not served you, suited you, or given you something great will actually eventually change. The fire will burn out. Naturally it will. And you will find that the crown can be restored. So again, that's something that I am seeing here as well for you. So I just want you to know that you will have success, right? It may not come to you straight away. Okay, so if you are doing that affirmation, you're thinking moonlight the first 3 days, yeah, they're not great. You know, things have perhaps not been going the right way. Also, just note that there may be retrogrades that are happening. There may be a lot of other things going on in the stars, but also it takes consistency to do so. And remember that once a fire burns, yeah, it consistently burns for as long as it wants to, but eventually it will go out on its own, unless you have the water to put it out, right? So just know that it takes consistency to do so. And it also shows that by practicing gratitude, you can actually avoid catastrophes as well. I know that sounds crazy, but energy and energy and energy. Remember, we're floating in the middle of the universe on a ball on Earth. So it's just one of those things. So these are things that I feel like you really needed to hear right now. I hope this reading helps you, gave you a ton of clarity, information, knowledge, really helps you in your path, and I hope you have a lovely day or night wherever you are whenever you're watching this. Let me know if there are certain messages that really rang true to your situation. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and the bracelets and other intention items which are on Etsy if you are interested. And do take care as well.